chaotic. I'm sure a lot of you feel like 2020 was plenty chaotic and are ready to get on with the new year. Well, don't lose sight of all the good things that happened in 2020 because 2021 might be very adventurous also. So just don't get complacent. Don't think that all your troubles are going to go away at midnight on December 31st / January 1st. Let's talk about your transits for 2020, Aquarius. This is going to be when all the planets that are coming through your sign occur. You're going to have a new moon in your sign on February 11th. And you're going to have 2 full moons. You stole Cancer's full moon, and now you get 2 full moons. How is that fair? You have a full moon on July 23rd, and then you have another full moon on August the 22nd. Now, Jupiter is going to be in your sign from January 1st through May 13th, and then again from July 29th to the end of 2021. And that's going to occur because there's a Jupiter retrograde that starts the 29th, I think. Or that's when it moves into your sign from Pisces. So it's going to move back into your sign on July 29th, and then the retrograde will end on October 17th. But Jupiter will not have left your sign by the end of the year. So that's good expansion, abundance energy that Capricorn has had the benefit of basking in for all of 2020. And Jupiter is not native to Aquarius, but because of Aquarius's tendency toward iconoclastic thinking and Jupiter's tendency toward wealth and expansion, I think that it is a very good portend for 2020. You're going to have Saturn in your sign. Saturn's actually moving into Aquarius at the end of 2020, and then will be in your sign all of next year until the end of 2021. Now, Saturn is going to be retrograde from May 23rd through October 10th, and Saturn sometimes is seen as being native to Aquarius, strangely enough, because Saturn is a very stagnating, very solidifying, long-winded energy. And Aquarius is all about change and utilizing the forces of many to affect that change. So that'll be a really interesting transit. And then you'll have Pallas in your sign January 1st through March 7th, which is also good for left brain activity, logical thinking. You'll have Mercury in your sign from January 9th to March 15th. And Mercury will be retrograde in your sign from January 30th to February 20th. So you'll have a really long Mercury window that actually coincides with that Pallas transit. So that will give you a good opportunity to use your brain for lots of big thinking. And then finally, Venus is going to be in your sign from February 2nd until the 25th. And so the new moon on February 11th might be a really good date night. Especially for your birthday, who knows? things that you need to pay back to people. It can also be about karmic debts. So, not just about financial responsibility. We have the Nine of Pentacles here. I think you're in a very good place to pay back your debts if that is what you need to be doing. We have the Four of Cups. This is about weighing out options that you have. It's possible that you don't like any of them. The Princess of Pentacles is coming out here too. So we have that Nine of Pentacles energy and the Princess of Pentacles energy. This could be a earth sign, or it could be a new business which you might have started near the end of 2020. We have the Seven of Pentacles, which is all about hard work required in order to make something come to fruition. You can see here that even though there are all these apples in the tree, he's feeling very discouraged about some loss of the harvest. There were some apples on the ground as well. We have two cups coming out together, but not the Two of Cups, okay? We have the Three of Cups and the Princess of Cups, both coming out in the reverse. So the Princess of Cups can be about an offer, an offering, an offer. And it doesn't have to be an emotional offering. It can be a job offering. It can be many different kinds of things, so keep that in mind. But because the Three of Cups is here with it also in the reverse, it could be that somebody was planning to extend an offer to you, and that they saw something about your emotional states that caused them some kind of change of heart. Or it could just be that these things are coming in the future. We'll have to keep going and find out. This textured table. Here in the month of February, which some of you might be having your birthdays in late January. Some of you might have them in February. We have the water element coming out. This is about being flexible, and it's also about being even keel emotionally. Water does have to do a lot with emotions and feelings. So you do have those two cups that we were looking at the end of January, right? Well, it's possible that because this water element is coming out here in February very prominently, that could have to do with those two cards rather than those cards being in the reverse, because it's a negative thing. It could just be that they're not going to happen till February. Because here we have the Temperance card, coming out, which is actually a little bit similar to Aquarius, although this is Sagittarius's card. But Temperance here and the Three of Cups before both speak to an emotional mastery on your part. We have the Prince of Wands coming out here in the reverse. And Prince of Wands is a fire energy, air of fire, or fire of fire in this deck. The Golden Dawn system is slightly different, but both the Golden Dawn system these are slightly different. And I'm going to jump right ahead to the Prince of Cups coming out in the upright here. And the reason that I'm doing that is that we're looking at some different traits here. So the Prince of Cups being fire of water, and the Prince of Wands being fire of fire. I think that it's telling you to be more watery than fiery. Now, Aquarius is it's not a water sign or a fire sign, it's an air sign. So, it's possible that these are two people that you are dealing with too, but look at where any water or fire energies might be in your chart and see if there are any planetary transits going on at that time that might affect mood or rationality or your stability. We have the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Now, this can be about your professional reputation being tarnished, possibly in some way. But I wouldn't worry about that too much. Or it can be about, like if your professional reputation isn't outright tarnished, it could be a situation where someone does not take your professional opinion seriously. And we have the Four of Wands here, which can be about housing or food insecurity or a divorce. We have the Ace of Wands upright here, and that refers to your creative spark and being able to get people on board with a project which you are putting out there. So that could be that Princess of Chalices coming back around again. Maybe there will be an offering. Here in the month of March. We have the 9th house, which is listed here as faith, but it's anything that you do to elevate yourself to a higher place, such as evolving your spirituality, travel, higher education, all of those things. And it's possible that some of you have a 9th house either in Pisces, or your 9th house placement could be Aries. We have the 8 of Cups coming out. This could be something that you're walking away from, that you're leaving behind, even though it's a project that's almost finished, that has almost reached completion. We have the Two of Swords in the reverse, and the Two of Swords is about a choice, and this could be a choice in the future, or it could be a choice that's already been made for you. We'll just have to keep going and find out. Here's your card, Aquarius. It's the Star. You're going to be playing to your strengths in March, and it's possible that you will get some kind of fulfillment of dreams that you've had, hopes for yourself, for your future. We have the Hanged Man as well. Now, the Hanged Man is a card of spiritual evolution as well. It can be about a period of stasis in your life, but it can also be about making a spiritual sacrifice or a sacrifice to evolve yourself. We have the Three of Wands. Something that you've been waiting for is going to come to you in March. And two cards that often pop out the Six of Swords here is in the reverse. So there may be an exodus or you leaving something like a location behind and not just a situation. Let's move on now to the month of April. Yeah, I get to look ahead because I'm going to tell you what you need to know. First up, we get Uranus, the planet of iconoclasts, and that is a planet native to your sign, Aquarius. People who have new and inventive ideas. So where we had the star coming out for you in March, now we've got Uranus also coming out for you in April. We have the Three of Pentacles coming out again. So whatever this situation is, it looks like people are still not taking you seriously like you should be in your field. We have the Hanged Man coming out again, and now because it's paired with the Three of Pentacles in the reverse, it could be a period of waiting for people to come around to your new ideas in whatever your particular field might be. We have the Queen of Wands coming out in the reverse as well. Now, this could be a fire sign person. We did have this Prince of Wands coming out in February, and it could be the same person. So, the gender of the card doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the gender of the person involved, although it could. But usually if you have several wands or several cups or whatever coming out, you kind of have to play it by ear, but sometimes it's the same person showing up in the reading over and over again. So we had that Prince of Wands coming out. We have this Queen of Wands coming out in the reverse. The Prince of Wands is somebody who is, it's fire of fire energy. It's like burn everything to the ground, and there's a lot of aggression behind it. Whereas the Prince of Air, for example, or the Knight of Air, would have a more logical backing to that fire energy. The Knight of Fire, or the Prince of Fire in this deck particularly, is going to just be more like torching everything in sight. The Queen of Wands, however, in the reverse like this, is somebody who's catty, and plays their social circles against each other. Not manipulative for the sake of getting what they want, as much as manipulative because they hold sway over a large social group. And we have the Eight of Cups coming out again. You keep threatening to leave, but I don't understand why you haven't yet, because we have the Eight of Cups coming out in March, and then we have the Eight of Cups coming out again in April. It's almost like you keep threatening to leave the situation, as though that's going to affect change in the behaviors of the people involved. But I'm not sure if that's going to work. We have the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, and this is the potential ending of a monetary cycle, but I think because it's in the reverse, it's not going to be occurring in April. It's going to be occurring later in the year. So here we have the Queen of Swords coming out. The Queen of Swords might be somebody, it could air sign, and the swords are air energy. Queen of Swords is water of air. So a watery air energy, which is definitely aligned with your sign of Aquarius. Now, it could be that you are in opposition to this Queen of Wands in some way. And that's what's causing all of these difficulties during the month of April. Alright, Aquarius, let's move on to the month of May. Sorry, my throat did something weird right there. Let's talk about the month of May. So, the first thing that comes out is the 7th house, which is about partnerships. You could have Taurus or Gemini in your 7th house. Gosh, excuse me, I tried to drink some water for my throat. We have the Fool in the reverse. So the Fool in the reverse is about going into a situation with your eyes open, not just going into it unaware. It's possible that this is a situation where you've encountered similar things before and you kind of know what to expect. We have the 5 of Pentacles coming out in the upright. You could be left out in the cold somehow. Like, I know that we had a couple of 8 of Cups. We had a 6 of Swords in the reverse. And that could be about having to make an exit. And it's possible that you don't have another place lined up to go. We have an Ace of Cups in the reverse. So because we have this 7th house of partnerships coming out here, it could be about partnerships ending in your life, reassessing partnerships in your life. It could be about new partnerships coming in the future as well. Because similarly to January, now we have the Ace of Cups in the reverse and we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Here, it's similar but not quite the same. I think my spouse would say they're the same color, but not the same thing. So back here we had a possible offering and some kind of emotional maturity occurring between the end of January and the beginning of February. And here we've got this Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is similar to the Princess of Cups, and then we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse, and that's very similar to the 3 of Cups in the reverse. So this Ace of Cups could be a new emotional offering, and the Knight of Cups is somebody who allows their emotions to motivate their actions. We have the High Priestess here in the reverse. This could be about secrets coming out. It could also be about you not having the information that you need to act on things. Because here we have the Moon in the upright, and of course the Moon and the High Priestess are very tied to one another. And the Moon is about a treacherous and narrow path that you're going to have to walk. It can also be about treachery or things being unclear because there is darkness. Let's look here at the month of June. Oh, we have the Grand Cross coming out. The Provoker. I don't remember exactly who it was, but another sign got this card in this placement for June. So it'll be interesting to see if you have that placement in your chart somewhere and you end up watching that video as well, or if you end up interacting with that sign in the month of June. So basically, a Grand Cross is where you have two planets in opposition here and two planets in opposition here in your natal chart. The Three of Swords, that's going to be some kind of conflict, and it could be conflict in a close personal relationship, like a romantic partnership. We have the Three of Wands coming out here again. So you had that in March, you have that again in June. Things that you have been waiting for are going to come to you. And they might be linked to one another. So this might be like part 1 gets unfolded in March and part 2 is unfolded in June. We have a Tower moment occurring in June. We have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is about kinetic energy when it's upright, putting your plans into action, and potential energy when it's in the reverse like this. And potential energy is more about the planning phase of things. Or it can be about not being able to act because there's a lack of energy there, whether it's on your part or a lack of momentum. Like if you don't have proper support for the project. We have the Fool again coming out in the reverse. Now, because you got the Fool coming out in the reverse in back-to-back months, I wonder if it doesn't mean there's a situation going on where you should know better about something. And then we do have the Ten of Cups here, and that's going to be the end of an emotional cycle for you. Either in a close personal partnership, or it could be that you end up resolving things and taking it to the next level. But I want to address a few things here because there's kind of an immaturity running through the first part of this year, and I'm not sure if it's totally on your part. I think that there is a certain extent where there might be a certain way that you're acting in situations that leads the person that you are dealing with to think that you're being immature, but actually it's not coming from a place of immaturity. It's very difficult to always communicate our intentions accurately when we're dealing with other people. Sometimes those things get misconstrued and misinterpreted. And once that starts happening, people have a confirmation bias where they continue to see what they believe they're looking at rather than what they are actually perceiving. Let's look at the month of July. Alright, so we have Jupiter, which is abundance possibly coming into your life at this time. Now, Jupiter is going to be moving into your sign for 2021. It has been in Capricorn for all of 2020 so far. We have the Prince of Pentacles coming out here in the reverse. And as I mentioned before, it's possible that this Prince of Pentacles here is the same energy as the Princess of Pentacles in January, but evolved in some way. The difference between the Princess's energy and the Prince's energy is that Princess is earth, of earth, and the prince is fire of earth. So taking the very grounded energy and then kicking up the kinetic aspects to a fire level where you're getting more creativity, more action. It's an action card. But because it's in the reverse, there might be a lack of action on your part. This might be something that is precipitated by previous events. We have the Hermit in the reverse, which is Virgo's card, and is also about introspection and looking within oneself and trying to work on oneself. So, the Prince of Pentacles here is kind of a Taurus card primarily, but because it's an Earth sign card, the Hermit and the Prince of Pentacles coming out here together, this could be a Virgo energy. This could be a Virgo person that you're dealing with. And we have the Five of Swords here, which is about a victory, but it's a victory at the expense of an alliance with someone else. We have the Five of Wands in the reverse, which is a lot more conflict. This woman being impeded by all of these small men trying to tackle her to the ground. We have the Four of Swords, and this card is in the upright, and that is about rest. So it's possible that that Five of Wands isn't occurring in the month of July. That could be referring to past events. We did have that Three of Swords in June, and also a Tower moment, so it could be about that. It could be about future events as well, and this being a period of some kind of rest. And we do have the Chariot coming out here, so that is speaking to a victory of some kind. So there is going to be a victory here, but it looks like it's going to cause trouble for you in some way. Let's find out more. We're looking now at the month of August. August. And we have Venus coming out here. Love. This is about romantic energies as well. We have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. This could be about clinginess in a relationship if it does pertain strictly to love, but it can also be about not having properly hedged your bets in the past and therefore lacking the resources that you need to do the things that you need to accomplish. We do have the Strength card coming out, though. That's Leo's card for the month of August, and you're actually the first sign that I've read for that had the Strength card coming out upright in August. A lot of people are getting that card for August, but they're getting it in the reverse position. So that's very interesting. That's a step in the right direction, Aquarius. We have the King of Cups here, and this could be a potential new romantic partner for you. This is somebody who is a paternal and very caring and warm energy. Could be a Cancer. And one thing that I've found about Cancers is that they're very concerned with the emotional states of the people around them. We have the Hierophant in the reverse, so that could be rejecting the status quo in some way, or that could be speaking to a marriage that is going to happen in the future. We have the Four of Cups in the reverse, and Four of Cups is about options that you have available to you. And because it's in the reverse here, it could be about you've made a decision, so you don't need to have those options open to you anymore. Or it could be about not having this fire of fire energy coming out again. So before it was the Prince of Wands, and here it is the King, or Knight of Wands, sorry, in this deck. It's fire of fire energy. And in the reverse like this, it can be very destructive to your personal relationships. This could also be a fire sign person who is coming into your life and wreaking havoc, being very aggressive and causing a lot of trouble for you in a malicious way as well. So it could be somebody who shows up in February and then shows up again in August, and it could be a fire sign person, or it could just be that energy showing up in your life. Alright, Aquarius. Let's move on to the month of September. We're getting there. We're more than halfway through 2021 now. Oh, excellent. So, here in September, you have the second house about possessions and owning things coming out. And it's possible that some of you have a second house in Virgo or a second house in Libra. We have the World card coming out in the reverse that speaks to a future that's very bright. So probably not having that energy in the month of September, but being able to see where your goals are. We have the Six of Swords coming out. Now, we had the Six of Swords coming out in March with that Eight of Cups, and then we had the Eight of Cups coming out again in April, right? So I think that if you have been thinking about a move since March or April, it's going to be happening in September. We have the Ten of Swords here in the reverse too, and that could be speaking to a lot of these conflicts that have been occurring, and that being the reason that you decide to make this move. We have the Eight of Swords coming out too, and the Eight of Swords is a card about feeling trapped. So it's possible that even though you are moving somewhere new, you feel like you've been backed into a corner, and that's why you're leaving. We have the Lovers card in the reverse. This could be the end of a romantic partnership, but it could also be about a choice that's being taken away from you. Or it could be about a new romantic partnership coming in the future. But in this case, it's kind of like upright is the beginning of a cycle, and reverse is the end of one cycle and the potential beginning of a new cycle. So that's kind of the rationale behind reading cards like the Two of Swords and the Lovers card. Here too, you have the Seven of Cups in the reverse, and the Seven of Cups is also about choices, and because it's in the reverse here, and you have the Eight of Swords coming out, it looks like you really feel like you have a lack of choices, and it's due to this Ten of Swords situation that has already occurred by the time we get to September of 2021. And as I had spoken about in the first half of the year, I don't know if there's really a way to avoid that Ten of Swords, to divert that from happening in 2021. Let's look now at October. So we get Aries coming out in October. Aries is the start of the zodiac cycle. It is a cycle. And it's all about beginnings. The self and taking care of the self. It's also about starting new projects. We have the Emperor Aries card too. So it's possible that you're actually dealing with an Aries in October, and this person coming out with the Emperor energy is going to be someone who's very authoritative, possibly in a position of power, and somebody who's very organized and able to delegate tasks effectively to others. We have the Five of Cups showing up here too, and that is, it could be about a disappointment, but it's not like a crushing defeat. We have the Eight of Wands. That's going to be a swift resolution to whatever issue is going on here. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So it could be good that this person came in and took control of the situation, but you might be disappointed about that, and it might not be like to your favor in some ways. Like there are ways that things can be the right thing to have happen and still not be in your favor. We have the Three of Swords in the reverse now, and this could be speaking to the same situation that we were looking at with the Three of Swords in the upright in June. So that might be a revisiting of that situation. But we have the Six of Cups here, which is about looking forward into the future and not dwelling on the past. Let's look here at November. And we have Yod here. So, oh my God. If my lens does not get it together, I am going to have to slap it in the face. Sorry. A Yod in your natal chart is when you have two placements that are right next to each other, like maybe 1 to 2 signs apart, and then you have like near opposition placement with another celestial body on the other side of the chart, so that it looks like this. Right? If that makes sense. You've got these two placements right next to each other, and then you have this placement way over on the other side, and it creates a Yod, or they also call it the finger of God, and it has a lot to do with being predestined for greatness. So that's showing up in November. We have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, and that can be about receiving charity because you're not in a good place financially. We have the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. It could be the beginning of a new financial cycle for you that will be coming in soon. We have the Two of Pentacles also in the reverse, and that's about a lack of balance in your life. We have an Eight of Wands coming out in the reverse now. And as I said before, Eight of Wands is about swift resolution. So when it's in the reverse, that means that things are going to be drawn out and slow. We have the Nine of Wands, which is you feeling the need to guard something. This is you defending either some kind of position or a person or some kind of possession that you have. It's you in defense mode. we have here the Five of Pentacles coming out again. And in this case, that Five of Pentacles is a little bit different. So let's look at the imagery on the cards next to each other. In one of them, you could see like a group of refugees passing by that church. In this card, this guy, his grape crop that he's going to use to make wine is soured. And because the grapes have gone sour, they can't be used. And so all of those fields are now totally worthless to him, and he's invested all of the time and energy of growing that crop, and it's no good to him. So it's a slightly different energy, but also very much about sour grapes. Let's look at December now. Aquarius, I do see some good things here for you, okay? It's not all bad, but there is a lot of conflict with other people going on here. Now, I'm really not surprised to see that you're gonna have Jupiter in your sign this year, and Uranus, which is native to Aquarius, is in Taurus right now, which is about a lot of people having authority over shared property and deciding what to do with that shared property. And so like Jupiter being in Aquarius is wealth and expansion, but also as it has to do with novel ideas. So that, as you can see, that can be a little bit complicated, and that's what I see here, is that things are a little bit complicated, but there's like a lot of evolution going on here in 2021 for you. So that's going to be very interesting to see unfold. Finally, here at the end of 2021, we have Pluto transformation. And Pluto status as a planet is often up for debate, so it's simultaneously a planet and not a planet. And as such, also has to do with things that are very intangible. We have the Ace of Swords coming out here for you. And whether that's upright or in the reverse, it's just about you using your own power to affect change in your life, drastic change. It's also air energy, which is true to your sign. We have the Queen of Cups coming out here in the reverse. Whoever this King of Cups energy is, it could be represented here in the month of December by the Queen of Cups. It's still a very like parental, loving energy. And Queen of Cups can also be Pisces energy. Pisces are very open-minded. And some of you might actually have Pisces placements in your chart somewhere. We have the Five of Wands coming out again, this time in the upright, and that's about rivalries. So there could have been a rivalry that took this water sign person or this emotional partner, took their energies away from you somehow. We have the Death card in the reverse, so that's going to be some kind of change, or it could be like a half change too. It's either a change coming in the future, or it can also mean like a change occurs, but it's not enough to really make things better or different. Insert American politics reference here. We have the Two of Cups in reverse. So that could be, again, that could be a new romantic partnership coming in, but it could also be about an ending of the relationship with this water sign person from back in August. Whoever that, it might be a water sign, but it might just be somebody who has a very warm and like the mom friend kind of energy. And we have the Prince of Pentacles showing up here again. So we had the Prince of Pentacles here in July, and now we have the Prince of Pentacles showing up here at the end of the year, and this time in the upright. And this is an energy of air, of earth in this case. As I mentioned, the Cosmic Tarot and the Initiatory Tarot of the Golden Dawn have slightly different symbolism as far as the princes are concerned. So, the Prince of Pentacles in this case, it's possible that it harkens back to this situation. And we did have the Prince of Pentacles coming out in the reverse with the Hermit, so I said that it could possibly be a Virgo. Remember, we had Jupiter abundance coming out, so this might have to do with the manifestation of that, because we do have some very transformative cards here. And remember too, there were obstacles there as well. So we had the Five of Wands coming out in the reverse there, but here the Five of Wands is upright and the Prince of Pentacles is upright, so it's possible that those two things are now being manifested for you in December. Kind of like every position opens up at work in December, and everybody's competing for it, and maybe you end up being the one to get it. Thank you, 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 thank you for watching. I really appreciate all of the support. As soon as I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving away 3 free readings. So if that hasn't happened yet, please do feel free to fill out the form in the link in the description. I'm using a Google Doc form. That way you don't have to put your personal information in the comments section of the YouTube video. It can be kind of like the wild, wild west out there. I do try to vet my comments pretty harshly, actually, but in this case, I felt like it would be a good way to then also collect the information I would be already asking you, like natal stuff to put together your natal chart. So, also, if you enjoyed the video, please like, share, subscribe, and if you have friends that you think would get something out of it, please feel free to pass it along to them. Thank you again. I know that 2020 has been kind of a rough year for a lot of us, but when things need to change, they will. And as much as it is tempting to write off 2020 as one of the craziest years of all time, it's important not to blind ourselves to the potential insanity that 2021 could bring. I really do deeply care about all of you, and I really do wish you the best. So please, enjoy the good vibes when you can, and I will see you again very, very